Take 200 grams of quick cooking oats and pour them into a dry frying pan. Fry the oats in a hot, dry frying pan over medium heat until they turn a light golden brown, stirring occasionally to prevent them from burning. The process takes about 5 to 7 minutes. As soon as you see that the oats begin to brown and you hear their characteristic aroma, you can remove them from the stove. They are ready. Add cocoa to the oatmeal. I use high-quality alkalized cocoa. For a balanced flavor, add a pinch of salt. I also use ground cinnamon today. I took 1 tablespoon, which is 15 grams. Let's move on to the next step. Add the nuts. You can use any nuts you like. Today, I'm using blanched peanuts. I chop them finely with a knife because I want them to be noticeable in the cake. If you wish, you can grind them more finely with a coffee grinder. Great, we've chopped them up pretty well. I add the prepared nuts to our ingredients. We will also use 2 large bananas for this recipe. First, we need to peel them. For the cake, we need to make banana puree out of them. Okay, after we peel them, we need to cut them up. Use a knife to slice our bananas. This step is not necessary, but since we need to mash them, it will make it easier for us to blend them later. Let's start by mashing the bananas with a fork until they become puree. Mash slowly to ensure a smooth texture. You can also use a blender to chop the bananas. This will not change the taste. Add the mashed banana to the dry ingredients. The banana acts as a binding agent and adds sweetness at the same time. If you feel that the sweetness from the bananas is not enough, you can add sweetener to taste. I add 1 generous tablespoon of honey, but this is not a necessary step. Mix all these ingredients well with a spatula until smooth. You should end up with a moderately viscous, smooth consistency thanks to the banana and honey. The resulting mixture will imitate 2 layers, top and bottom. So divide it roughly in half by eye. Prepare the cake mold. Take a cake serving plate and place a 16-centimeter diameter baking ring on it. I place acetate tape inside the mold. Take half of the oat mass and spread it on the bottom of the mold. Spread evenly and press down well. The mass is quite malleable and spreads very well. For convenience, you can also use the bottom of a glass, for example. This mass must be thoroughly compacted and leveled. Great! Now we can move on. Set the base aside and prepare the banana layer. For this, 1 banana is enough. Peel the banana. Now let's cut it into random pieces. Okay, now let's start laying out the bananas. Spread evenly over the oat base, leaving a small gap between them. You can also place them closer together, but then one will definitely not be enough. Now let's prepare the cream. Put cottage cheese of any fat content in a bowl and add Greek yogurt to it. You can replace yogurt with sour cream. For a pleasant aroma, I will add a few drops of vanilla. Again, I mix these ingredients until smooth to obtain a thick and very tasty cream. The whole process takes literally a minute, and it's ready. Now let's spread all of our cream cheese cream over the banana layer. Now we need to spread it evenly. I do this with a regular tablespoon. We need to make sure that the cream fills all the gaps, but since it is quite soft, this is not a problem. Here's what we got as a result. Okay, let's move on. Almost everything is ready. Return to the remaining oat mass and carefully pour it over the cream, trying not to mix the layers. Carefully spread and level it with any spoon or spatula. As you can see, this is easy to do. Then use a glass to press everything down finally so that all the layers are well combined. Almost everything is ready, just the finishing touch remains. Place in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Now, the chocolate glaze. Pour water into a saucepan and place it on the stove. Place the dark, bitter chocolate without sugar in a bowl and place it in a double boiler. Turn the heat down low so that the water is just simmering. And stir the chocolate constantly so that it melts evenly and does not overheat. It's all easy and simple. The main thing is to follow the instructions. When the chocolate has completely melted, remove it from the water bath. Add about 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and stir. The heat from the chocolate will easily melt the oil. Coconut oil is added to increase the fluidity of the glaze so that it spreads nicely over the cake and drips down in neat streaks. Mix well until you get a smooth glaze without any lumps. I want to use walnuts to decorate the cake. You can replace them with any other nuts according to your taste. For a richer flavor, I roast the nuts in a dry frying pan. Great! Everything is ready. Let's move to the cutting board. Pour out our nuts, or whatever you have there, and we start cutting them into small pieces. I want to decorate the cake with them, so I cut them as small as possible. To make our cake look delicious, we use strawberries for decoration. You can replace strawberries with anything else. I didn't have anything else, so I'm using them. I want to put it in the center of the cake. Use your imagination and you will create something beautiful. Take the cake out of the refrigerator. Thanks to the acetate tape, the ring will come off very easily. Remove the acetate tape. The cake will be smooth with neat edges. Gradually pour the chocolate glaze over the cake. Do this in stages so that the glaze has time to set on the cold surface of the cake. Adjust the frosting slightly at the edges to create attractive drips. Let's start decorating. Decorate the cake with walnuts that we prepared in advance. I love walnuts, so I'll add more of them. And now for the finishing touch. Place a mound of sliced strawberries in the center. As I said, you can use any fruit you like. Just look at how beautiful it looks. Now the cake is ready. It's not only pretty and super yummy, but also really healthy. Let's cut it and see what it looks like inside. The cake cuts well. The oat base has set nicely, and the cream has also set perfectly, holding its shape well. If you stick to a healthy diet, this cake will definitely become one of your favorite treats. It's the right way to start your day. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, everything we need. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.